Alright, everybody. So, I'm trying to find you guys some evidence. I've got a bunch of pictures pulled for you, but I'm going through my phone just trying to find like the first instance when I can. So way back November 8th, 2024, you can see $2 plus bonus for leaving your zone, right? This has been out for at least a year now. I have here. I wonder if I can. I'll show you the picture here in just a second. Other people have been making videos aside from me, right, about this. I had a video about this many years ago. I can't find it on the platform anymore. Just when I search it with the keywords that I used to find it. So I gotta actually try and remember my login for that. Because that was back when I was on the Doordash Council. That was a while ago. I quit that when I got my Comcast job. So that was a while ago. But that said, November 8th, right? As you can see, $2 bonus for leaving your zone, right? So this is what it should look like at the end, right? See how you have the base pay, and then you have a zone exit bonus, and then you have your tip, right? So that's because DoorDash realizes that, hey, you are driving outside of the zone, you're not going to get any pay. Like this right here, like I have it saved for you. I'm going to read what it says, right? Like their picture, DoorDash, tells you if you don't switch, you'll need to return to your original zone to continue getting offers, right? So they have a tiered program where like in my market, it's just a flat $2 unless it's a holiday or unless it's a bad weather. But in other markets, they have the city split into section 1, section 2, section 3, right? Like Colorado Springs used to be north, south, and then Fort Carson. So if you had to go from north and deliver all the way to Fort Carson, right, they would give you more than just having to go from north to south, right? Because now you have to go through an entirely separate city, right? That did happen a couple times. I had a hour and a half, I think it was Old Chicago, order once upon a time. That's a nightmare. That's a whole different story. That's a Grubhub order. So that's right. But again, they have issues as well. So just if you're a delivery driver, just know that I'm looking out for you because these fees have been out for at least a year now. At least a year now, you're going to be able to go and find videos of other people talking about it, okay? So I'm going to link their videos, their pictures here for you. I'm dictating, and then I'm going to add the pictures after the fact, okay? So for those of you thinking that I'm just wasting your time, I apologize. But again, here is the picture of me getting the offer, okay? Plus $2 bonus for leaving your zone, except, right? Now, as you can see, this is in Clarkston Heights, right? This is literally way out past the orchards. This is very rich neighborhood over here, right? So because they realized that, hey, you're delivering outside of the zone, they gave me a nice fat $5 tip, right? I appreciate that. Thank you. Right? 34 minutes. That's why we got the $9.14. At the time we were making $15.75 an hour with DoorDash. Our pay has gone up since then. But if you divide 15.75 an hour divided by 60 minutes, right? That's 26 cents an hour, right? It's okay, 0.2625. Okay, so I'm just gonna round down and put 0.26. Okay, so 0.26 times 34 minutes. My calculator comes up to $8.84. But again, DoorDash has to always give you at least a $2 base pay, so that's why they adjusted by 30 cents, right? So there's an extra minute that I didn't account for. That's why the pay is different. Okay, so if you add an extra minute, it's $9.10. So $9.14 is what they gave me. So they just paid me an extra minute for that. Okay, that's all they did. Right now, 26 cents a minute. Okay, that's our base pay. That's from point A to point B. Right here it says your estimated time is about 21 minutes. It took you 34 minutes altogether, right? So that's why we have to pay you a slightly higher base pay than what we anticipated, okay? But again, Zone Exit bonus was there for me. It's probably there earlier, but again, I've just been scrolling real quick. So let me find you some more pictures. Hold on. All right, I scrolled by real quick. Oh, looks like there's one right here. So this one goes out again, way out to Clarkston Heights. So rich people neighborhood, way out in the orchards, way out of town. We got the zone exit bonus, and we got the base pay for 22 minutes. So again, let's just double check that real quick. So 15.75 times, I'm sorry, divided by 60 equals, I'll leave the 25 at the end. So it's 0.2625, okay, times 22 minutes. That's $5.77. It's $5.77. So $5.78. We'll round up. They paid $5.97, so it's off by 8 cents, right? So no big deal, right? But again, that's how you can tell that. And I'll show you, because during our last conversation, people are trying to tell me that I got paid in my base pay for it, and I didn't, right? So that's how you can tell, basically how much you're getting, right? Zone exit bonus $2 is on there, and then a Wendy's tip $7, right? So when you add all that together, the $5.97 plus $2 plus 7, right? You come out to the $14.97, right? For 22 minutes. That's very good pay. However, remember, we had to drive literally from one town through another and then way down to another town, essentially, in order to get that. Because it's not just Clarkston, it's Clarkston Heights. And it's like if you were to go from, in Colorado, way out in, I'm trying to think. Okay, North Academy, Broadmoor area. If you were to drive from there and drive all the way down south to Fort Carson, right? That's basically that distance, right? Like that's a big drive. That's a long drive, right? So, thankfully the food was ready, and it was just basically a super long drive to get there, but we didn't have to wait extra. But even if we did, we would have gotten a little slightly extra pay. That's okay though. Here we go. Okay, here is, let's see, what date is this? So this is the 17th of November. Okay, so next day, here's a $2 bonus for leaving the zone. Here's the pay for it, right? Massive order for Pizza Hut. Took it out to the casino. Thank you for the tip. Thank you. There was like 4 people behind the desk. They were very happy. Let's see. But again, base pay for that $6.56. So let's see. We take the 26.25 times that by 24 minutes. I get $6.30. Doordash paid me $6.56, so it looks like they paid me for an extra minute, which is, I'm not complaining about that, because yeah, that's 26 cents extra, so that's 1 minute extra that they paid me for. Zone exit bonus $2 is on there, as you can see, because I had to drive outside of the bonus, outside of the zone, and then Pizza Hut, the tip, like I said, massive catering order. Like I said, like I think it was like 6 pizzas and like four things of wings, tons of sauce and drinks, like, right, like it, yeah. So next one. All right, so again, we're heading out towards Asotin. That's what they say out here now. However, it's spelled Asotin, so don't let them fool you. Over here, $2 tip. Thank you for that. Right. Zone exit bonus, so $2 is on there, and our base pay. So let's see, 17 minutes times the 26.25, right? Equals $4.46 and $4.4625, right? So that's $4.46. They paid us $4.72, so that's roughly 26 cents extra. So that's an extra minute they paid us for. And then again, because we drove out of zone, they paid us the bonus, right? Customer tip. You go in, you get all your tips. So if the customer goes and gives a $2 tip, here's the $2 tip. There you go. Thank you, right? Like, next one. Hold on. All right, so this one I think is the next day. But as you can see, this one we're going way out to, that's Lapwai. That's a completely different area. That's way out of the zone. The zone ends right over here in front of our house. Let me try and draw for you real quick. The zone ends right here. Our house is like over here in this area somewhere, right? But yeah, the zone ends right here. So that's why I'm able to speak about this, because every day when I drive out, we go this way and we go that way, right? Depending on the order. So we see that the zone is right here, and if we go past that, we should get that pay, right? So when the bonus, why won't it zoom out? Do I have to? Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. So when the bonus sends me way out past that, I get the $2 bonus, right? So, let me go into the next one. Hold on. I had a pause for you because I had the customer address in there with the name, and I didn't want to give you that information. But here you go. No tip for that massive drive. It does happen. See, so again, this was actually a pretty good catering order too, but because we brought food for like 6 people. We brought food for 6 people, so there was 6 drinks. No, there was 7 drinks because there was also there were 6 drinks and 2 Frosties. Sorry, what's up? I'll be right there, baby. Can you grab my stuff? I'll be right there. Yeah, 8 drinks total because we had 2 complete. I had to stack the drinks on top of each other and put them in the middle, and then I had a massive catering bag that was completely full of food, and then I had 2 other bags on top of that for the food, right? So we got goose egged. This one specifically, I'm convinced that DoorDash stole my tip on this one, because in recent history, every other time that we've delivered to these people, they've given us tips, and it may or may not be a big tip, but they've at least given us a tip, right? Because again, this is brand new development out here in Lopwai. Let me pause it. Right, all of this is brand new development. Like all this right here is brand new development and getting developed as we speak. So all the blank spaces are getting filled in. So very expensive houses out here, and it's like it's way out. Okay, it's like at least 10 to 15 minutes of extra driving once you pass out that zone. So, right, but again, whether it's good tips, bad tips, right, the tips do not matter. Right? You always get your base pay, you always get your tips, and you always get your fees. This specifically is a zone exit bonus. It is a fee that is given to us because we have to drive out of bounds, right? DoorDash charges an insane amount of money. They charge a 15% surcharge fee just for deliveries right off the bat, and then they go and charge a I'm gonna put the picture right here so you can see it. But it's $9.75. I'm trying to go off memory, so excuse me. $9.75 base pay is what they charge you if you're inside that zone. So anything that's inside the red marker automatically get charged $9.75 delivery fee. And then if you go outside that marker, for every additional mile, they charge you 75 cents. So they make a ton of money. So I had a 6-mile delivery literally yesterday that I have not been paid for yet. I got to call back again and get that money. But because it was 6 miles out of town, DoorDash charged the customer $9.75 for the delivery, and then for every additional mile outside of that, for those 6 miles, they were charged 75 cents. So 75 cents of $6 is $4.50. So DoorDash made on that $9.75 plus $4.50. That's it. I'll just round up, okay? We'll say it's $14.50 that they made. It's $14.25, but like I said, I'm just gonna round up, okay? Because again, 15% surcharge, and then basically, like I said, $14.50 right there just in delivery fees. So again, right here, when I don't get a tip like that, that also directly influences why I'm not getting a tip, because you put on there that it's a delivery fee, and you put on there that because you're delivering outside of the zone, that we're now charging you an expanded range delivery fee. So when people see delivery fee and expanded range delivery fee on there, they think that it's going to the delivery driver, and you're not giving that to us. You are purposefully lying and misleading the customer base, which is influencing our tips. Right? Someone who normally would give a $5 tip, if they get charged $15 in tips and then a 15%, sorry, I got baby Quill in the background, and then they get charged a 15% surcharge on top of that, 111. I'm gonna come give you kisses in a sec, babe. Yeah, like, you can't do that. So again, these are just very, very minor pictures. This is from November 19th, but again, this is way back from last year. Okay, so when I go and I show you, I want to show you guys, right? There's 35 of you who have subscribed now. There's a ton of you who are viewing my stuff. I appreciate you. Thank you. Every single one of you who tunes in, like I'm telling you things because I've done this for the last 8+ years. It's like 8.5, almost 9 years now. But I used to also be on the DoorDash Council. So for those of you who don't know, there was a group of people who would get together, and they would basically, if a new rule or regulation was about to be made, we were the ones who, we would be presented it, and we would be like, okay, This is the good, this is the bad, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, this is what we think you should take out, this is what we think you could add on, right? Like, here you go, here's our information, do with it what you will, right? However, I always argued for us, the drivers, that DoorDash and all the other platforms as well, they're not paying us as much as what they should. They're purposefully stealing from us, and they're not paying us as much as what they should. So all of these videos that I'm sending you, that I'm showing you now, are proof that DoorDash is in fact stealing from us. Okay, so thank you for your the whole thing that sparked it was that comment that I showed you at the very beginning. I'm gonna put it up now. Thank you very, very, very much for your comment. Yes, DoorDash is supposed to pay you a exit fee, and they have it explained multiple ways. So I showed you just my exit fee bonuses, but I also showed you the tiered bonuses that are in other states and cities right now. Because in mine, let me see if I can show. Right, so in my market, this is Lewiston right here. This is just Lewiston, okay? And then Clarkston's over here, and then Asotin is down here, right? And those are the three that we handle in this market, right? So, oh, and then Lapwai as well over here. I forgot about Lapwai. But yeah, because this is new development, they're technically within the 1 hour zone that DoorDash will deliver to. Yeah, and I'll find that for you too, because it's somewhere written in DoorDash policy that they can send you up to an hour away for a delivery. If you accept it, that's on you, but they could in theory send you up to an hour away. So like imagine they could send you way out here to Cul-de-sac Hill, an hour away, right? If you only get a $2 what's it called, like let's say you're not on by time, you're on per order, and you get a $2 base pay for all of that, right? First off, DoorDash has a sliding base pay, which I'll show you in a different video, and I've explained that in another video as well. Someone wanted to know where it's set, where it is written that we get up to $10 per delivery, and I also I should have that in one of my phone calls too, from the other day, which I promised you guys. So I'm sorry, there's a lot, but yeah, if they can send you up to an hour away, and if they don't give you the exit bonus, you're basically out that money, right? That's why they implemented the exit bonus, and that's why in markets like in Colorado, where there's the north, south, and then Fort Carson, right? Like that would be the tiered bonus. If you're delivering from north all the way down through south and into Fort Carson, you get extra pay because you're going way outside of your means to deliver that, right? You don't have to stay in that boundary, which is what that picture I showed you, right? Like it tells you very specifically, you don't have to stay. If you choose to, you're gonna make higher pay because this zone is busier than the zone you just came from. But if you decline, you're not gonna get any orders until you go back to your zone. Okay, that's what that picture stated. That's DoorDash's policy and picture. That's not mine. That's not even my zone. I pulled that from someone else so that was you could see, right? So again, everything that I'm stating, 100% true. I showed you proof that other dashers are in fact showing you the same thing up past a year ago. This is my proof from last year, right? So just it's starting back in November, but again, I can go back further. This is just the first one that I found by just scrolling super quick. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry that I kept you so long, but I have to now go and put those pictures in there, so I'm going to stop it now. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. Like the video, subscribe for more. I'm going to put out a bunch more videos about this, but just thank you for watching. Have a good day.